Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name is Bob, I'll be your host. Back in 2006, there was an attempt to revitalize the Robotech series. And they were going to do a sequel series to it, and with several different movies. The first one that came out was Robotech The Shadow Chronicles. And it was an animated feature, and they were going to make more after that, but for whatever reason it didn't do very well, so it was canceled right after that first movie. And I had no idea this was going on until one day at the grocery store I found a copy of the DVD for the movie in the discount DVD bin. So I bought it, and it was pretty neat. About a year after that, they came out with a role-playing game for it. At the time, Palladium Games still owned the rights to make material for the Robotech role-playing game, so they're the ones that made it. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to talk about Robotech The Shadow Chronicles, the role-playing game. This book has 224 pages and a copyright of 2008. It was published by Palladium Games, and all of the artwork in this book is in black and white, and it's pretty decent. So let's go ahead and look at that artwork. This is the first picture we see when we open the book. All of the artwork in this book is in black and white. And it's pretty decent artwork as well, setting a proper tone and mood for this game. To play this game, what you're going to need is, of course, a copy of this core rulebook and a full set of dice. A full set of dice containing a 20-sided die, a 12-sided die, preferably two 10-sided dice for rolling both percentiles and tens, an 8-sided die, a 6-sided die, and a 4-sided die. Now, this game uses the rules that are standard in all Palladium games. So if you're familiar with Palladium's games or have played them before, then you know how to do this game. And character creation uses the standard way of making up characters for a Palladium game. The first thing you'll do is you'll figure up your attributes. The attributes used in this game are intelligence quotient, mental endurance, mental affinity, physical strength, physical prowess, physical endurance, physical beauty, and speed. And the way you figure these attributes out is you roll 4 6-sided dice. And you add the 3 highest together and place them in your attributes. Now, if you roll a 16, 17, or 18 for one of your attributes, that's considered an exceptional attribute, and you get to add the 4th die to it, making it a really exceptional attribute. And later on, when you figure up your skills, your physical skills will add more points to your physical attributes. But after you get your attributes, you then figure up your hit points. Your hit points are equal to your physical endurance plus 1d6. And every time your character gains a level, regardless of what class he is, he'll gain another d6. After that, you'll figure up your SDC. Your SDC, unlike hit points, do not gain as you gain levels. Whatever you figure up at character creation is what you got throughout your character's life. And your SDC is determined by what MOS you pick with the class that you pick. We'll get to that. After that, you'll pick an alignment. And there are 3 core alignments in this game, each broken up into smaller bits. There are good alignments, which are principled and scrupulous. There are selfish alignments, which are unprincipled and anarchist. And there are evil alignments, which are aberrant, miscreant, and diabolic. After you have your alignment, you'll then pick a class. Classes in this game are referred to as OCCs, or occupational character classes. And they are Battloid Ace, enlisted crewmen or infantry, the military specialist, the technical officer, and the Veritech pilot. And your OCC will give you the skills that your character gets, their starting equipment, funds, and that kind of thing. And each of the OCCs have several MOSs tied to them. And you get to pick which one you want out of what they got. And this will give you more skills and your SDC for your starting character. And that's pretty much character creation in this game. The rules are standard per Palladium games. When you go to perform a skill or a task, you roll a percentile dice because all your skills are percentile based. And what this means is you'll want to roll your percentile and score equal to or less than what your percentage is in the skill in order to succeed. If you roll over that, you fail. Skills can only be raised to 99% to 98% because there's always a room for failure. Combat is done a little differently. In combat, you roll a 20-sided die to see if you hit. If you roll 1, 2, 3, or 4, you miss. If you roll a 5 or better, you hit and do damage to the character. Now, if the character is wearing armor, their armor will give them an armor class. And let's say their armor class is 12. What this means is you must roll better than 12 on a 20-sided die in order to score damage to the character. If you roll between 5 and 12, then you still hit, but the damage is done to the armor. Once all the armor's SDC, or mega damage, is taken away, then the armor is useless and they only need a 5 or better to hit you. So there's that. This game uses 2 types of damage in it. There's your regular SDC damage, which is regular damage that everybody and regular things take. And then there's mega damage. 1 point of mega damage is worth 100 points of SDC. When you go to damage something that takes mega damage, you must use a weapon that deals mega damage. You can score 100 points of normal SDC damage and it still won't damage the mega damage. It has to trade up. But if somebody uses mega damage on your character, that would be worth 100 points of SDC. It doesn't work in reverse. So you want to take that into account. This book has everything you need to play. It's mostly full of equipment and vehicles. That's what takes up most of this book. And in the front, they have information on the Invid. So you got some good bad guys in here. And they got a few other bits and bobs for you to run into. There are some write-ups in the back of the book of characters from the movie, in case you want to include them in your games. There's a section in here that has some pre-made adventures for you to run if you want, and stuff for making up adventures of your own to run in this game. There's some character sheets in here that you can photocopy and use, so that's always helpful. And it gives you a timeline of what's going on, so that's also helpful for keeping track of things. And that's pretty much it. It's Robotech beyond Robotech. It was supposed to be the start of something new, but unfortunately, it didn't do that well. So this brings me to 3 questions. Would I play a character in this game? And I'm going to have to say yes. The movie was decent. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was decent. And it's Robotech. And I like Robotech, so yeah, I'd play. Would I run this game? And yes, I would. Like I said, I like Robotech. If I had someone interested in playing in this time period, then yeah, this book would be great for me to run. Would I recommend this book? And I'm going to have to say yes. It's got a lot of Robotech stuff in there for you to use. If you're not very familiar with Robotech, it's a good place to start. I would recommend probably one of the other books to get started with more, but this is a good place to get going. because it's got enough information that you can kind of place it anywhere you wanted. Palladium Games lost the license to make Robotech games shortly after they published this series of Robotech books, and which is unfortunate. I don't know anything about the new books coming out from the new publisher, so maybe in the future I can do something with that if I get them. But I like Palladium, I like Robotech, so yeah, I would recommend it. And thank you for joining me at a look at this book, and hopefully you'll join me next time where we'll talk about something else. Bye.